Basically, if you want to lose weight, the best thing that I did was intermittent fasting. With diabetes, you have to adjust a little bit here and there for the fasting. But the basic idea is a 16 to 8 ratio of fasting and eating. There's 24 hours. You fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8 hours. If you're diabetic, then you have to eat some candy. If the sugar get low, if you feel that the sugar in your body is getting low, then you eat a little bit candy or something like that to stabilize it. But in over time, in 3 or 4 months, your body will get adapted to fasting. So I was 118 kilos in January, in this January. And now I'm 80. I'm 89 kilos.
You're almost my weight, and I'm also that much. But you don't look.
My height.
Yeah, you're taller.
I'm a little taller.
For your height, 80 kilos okay.
But you know,
I lost almost 90.
I lost nearly about 30 kilos through intermittent fasting. And it's really amazing. It's really amazing. If you fast for a month or so, it will reset your whole immune system. The whole immune system. And it is really important in these days because in these days we have COVID. And the best way to fight it is to have a good immune system.
Immunity, yeah, that's true.
You know, we are in middle of a community breakout. It will not go away soon. The Spanish flu didn't went away just like that. So it will take time to go away, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, the best thing you can do is to build your immunity. So I'll recommend to you, and you'll have to ask the doctors. You know, I'm a doctor, but I'm not certified to, tell you anything.
You're not a diabetologist.
Yep. So what I did was intermittent fasting, and I recommend that to anyone, to everyone. Basically, what happens in intermittent fasting is when you fast, your liver produces keto bodies. And keto bodies, when the keto bodies produced in your liver goes into your blood and goes to your fat cells, and there the keto bodies dissolves the cell membrane of the fat cells. It basically dissolves the fat to use that as an energy source. So if you fast for 12 hours, after 12 hours, your body will produce keto bodies, your liver will produce keto bodies, and if you extend that period from 12 to 16 hours, in those 5 hours, your body will be burning fat and an enormous rate. So what I did was I ate 2 meals, one at 12 p.m. in the afternoon, 12 in the afternoon, and one at 8. And I ate basically everything. So if you're a diabetic person, I recommend you to eat less carbohydrates, less carbohydrates.
Bread,
chapatis, and basically greens too. Rice. Those will
starch.
That starch.
You have to avoid that.
The adaptation period for that would be quite enormous. You'll suffer basically. Your body will make you suffer for those carbs. It is a craving system that we have developed. The humans have developed for a long time. So your body will crave for carbs. But after 3 or 4 or 5 months, your body get adapted. It's really amazing how fast the human bodies get adapted to new foods.
Yeah.
And then you'll see that you have a clearer mind, because if we eat less carbohydrates, we'll have a clearer mind. We'll have less fat. If we are less obese, then it's all good. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I recommend that to you or anyone. In the Hindu religion, we used to have fasts. Every week.
Yeah.
I think we are supposed to.
Yeah, I know a lot of teachers I've been associated with in Missouri. They fast on Tuesdays or what? What's Tuesdays?
Tuesday. Basically, it depends on the god that you're worshipping.
Yeah.
So in Hindus, we have many gods. We have 33,000 crore gods. Can you believe that? We have basically a god for everything.
Yeah, god for
33,000 crore gods.
Yeah.
And it depends on the god that you are worshipping.
That's right.
In Hindu religion, the two supreme deities are the Brahma
Brahma.
and
Shiva.
I guess you
Brahma,
know
Brahma, there's only one temple somewhere in India, that is in Gujarat or Rajasthan or somewhere, there is one temple to Brahma. Others, there is Brahma is, they say Brahma is the creator,
But they with them
but there are no temples of and worship of Brahma. Shiva is the main one, the preserver and the destroyer, is it? So Shiva is Brahma is the creator, Shiva is the
destroyer.
destroyer, and then who's the third one? Vishnu.
Vishnu, I guess God Vishnu. I don't know.
Preserver.
The preserver.
So these three. So Vishnu also you don't hear so much. Shiva is the main person.
Because he's the destroyer, right? Everyone is afraid of the destroyer, I guess. But basically, it's amazing. I studied Jordan B. Peterson talking about the chaos thing, the chaos and order. We evolved to produce, to make, or basically evolve to have two systems, order and chaos. That's why our brain is divided into two parts, two hemispheres.
Oh.
So one is activated when we see order. When we know, what is order? Order is something that is supposed to happen, that we know that is supposed to happen, will happen. And chaos is when the unknown happens.
Okay.
So basically there was a problem with us. As we got more intelligent, we had to, produce a structure to grow as a civilization, to grow as a species. And we have that thing, that primal urge of order and chaos.
Yes, yeah.
Chaos is when we see a predator. And order is when we see a family. There's a lot of theories that explains that.
Yeah.
But as evolution happened, these two things happened. There were many things unknown. There are still many things unknown.
Yeah.
What religion did was, it gave it basically is a weapon that we can use to drive through chaos. That's what religion is. And everyone needs religion, man. If you don't have religion, you won't have those basic value systems.
Yeah.
You won't think about sacrifice. You won't think about all these good things that religion, the gods teach us, right? And if you don't have that value system, things like the 20th century will happen. Now, what happened in 20th century? It was the most monstrous century of all time. The World War I happened. Millions died.
Okay.
The World War II happened.
Okay.
More millions died.
Right.
Then the Cold War happened. The Holocaust happened. The Gulags happened.
Yeah.
Most of the have you read about the Gulags?
No, I've not read. Yeah.
So basically, in the Cold War, the Soviet Union took shape. It followed Marxist principles.
Marxist principles, yeah.
So basically, what happened was, with the basic ideology of Marxism, they formed a structure, and it was chaotic. Arrest used to happen. The Soviet, there's a estimate that the Soviets killed 60 to 100 million people of their own through the gulags. There's a book written known as the Gulags Archipelago.
Yes.
It was by Alexander Solzhenitsyn.
So, yes.
And it describes all the monstrosity that the Soviets did to themselves. I mean, it was like
Their
we
own
are
people.
eating our own selves. The community was eating their own selves.
own people.
And it was because the Soviets were atheists. There was no structure. There was no religion.
Yeah.
Chaos was everywhere. And if you follow the Marxist principle of equality in outcome, that every human is equal and there are no hierarchies, then it will produce the gulags. And the Holocaust happened. 6 million Jews died in the prison camps.
Yeah.
An estimate.
Yeah.
In the gulags happened, the 10 times of the number of the Holocaust died. But we are not taught about that. In Russia, the gulags archipelago is taught in the schools. But if you ask anyone, they don't know about the gulags and about Alexander Solzhenitsyn and about the Soviet Union, because most of the material was destroyed by the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I think when that book came out in the beginning, in the 70s or sometime,
In the 80s.
In the 80s, was it? Yes. Then everybody was suddenly realized like this,
Well, what happened was a single manuscript of the book was somehow leaked to the Western society, Western community. The Soviet Union was present at that time. So when you have that Soviet Union system, the KGB and all the other organizations that they had, it was very tough for them to actually publish any book. Let's just say the gulags,
Yeah.
a accurate description of the Holocaust of the gulags,
Yeah.
the monstrosity. People died, people starved to death, the farmers starved to death. The KGB, it is actually explained there that the KGB will arrest anyone who will have an ideology, have an opinion. They will arrest them. If you're a vegetative person, basically, if you don't think that much, if your IQ is low, and even if your IQ is high, you don't speak that much, nothing would happen to you.
Yeah.
But if you have an ideology, and we need an ideology, we need thinkers, we need philosophy to grow, right? So the KGB arrested them and sent them to the gulags, and there it was like
Gulags or concentration camps, is that?
concentration camps, islands.
Islands.
Huh. So they,
So that is north of Japan, north of Korea.
yep.
That
So-
Vladivostok Peninsula.
Yep.
Shaklin, what is that? Peninsula? There's a peninsula.
The gulags happened in archipelago, and archipelago were islands.
Yeah, islands, okay.
So
Yeah, on that eastern side of Russia.
So, just see the pattern. See the countries that didn't follow any religion. It's China, it's Russia, it was Germany at some extent.
Yeah, but Hitler's time.
I mean, at Hitler's time, Hitler didn't follow any religion.
Yeah.
And look what he did.
Yeah.
He murdered so many people. And then Mao's China and Stalin's Russia was even more murderous.
Yeah.
But we aren't taught about that. Because the World War didn't happen because of them. So it's amazing. It's amazing. And I'll tell you more about it. So anyways, we have order, we have chaos.
Yeah.
Religion, what religion does, what any religion does,
Yeah.
it gives a structure to explore the chaos.
Okay.
And that is important to grow. It's amazing. I study the human physiology. I study the human psychology. I have.
Yeah,
I study a lot things.
You're in a different level than all of us. We are still.
No.
I don't
Sir,
read much of this philosophy and all these things. I am just quite happy with what I have, my knowledge, and over the years now.
Everyone needs something, right?
And now over the years, even even though I'm a Christian, I'm open to people. I don't say everybody should become a Christian. Those who feel attracted to Christianity, if it makes you a better man, if it makes you a better person,
Then that's
see?
that's important.
and gives you a broader outlook and treat everybody as your equal, you live your life.
And
Your,
it should be
your
meaningful.
life should be an example to others.
It should be meaningful.
Yeah, that's that.
Everyone is these days. Everyone is running around for money.
Yeah,
Everyone wants money. Well, what would they do with money?
Yeah.
Actually, there's a scientific theory that any human cannot spend more than $400 million in his lifetime,
Yeah.
even if he wanted to. Like, if I give you $1 billion, you won't be able to spend more than 400 million. And it's seen that the pattern in psychology has seen that the more richer you get, your problems will evolve.
Yes,
The problem will remain same. It's about finding a meaning.
yeah,
Sir, let me tell you, I, as a child, I was nothing. I was no one. I studied in St. Mary's Academy. I wasn't good at studies. I wasn't good at even sports.
yeah,
I wasn't that good at sports.
Yeah.
I was a mediocre child.
Yeah.
I didn't have a meaning. Basically, I was in chaos. The thing that happened was, in St. Mary's, when I was in St. Mary's, there's a lot of things that were happening with me.
yeah,
And those things affected me a lot. These were happenings, and these were this, and these were that. My childhood was really unstable. My family was really unstable. My father and mother didn't have a stable relationship, and that affected the children's, I guess.
all right.
And anyways, I'm so grateful for them because they, when I was getting admission, I remember Brother Paul took my interview. Brother Paul along with
Brother Paul Chulli, yes, Brother Paul Chulli, short man.
Huh.
He was here last year. He was here.
I met him. Last year I met him, and he took my interview along with Trivedi ma'am.
Okay.
Trivedi ma'am was
Yeah,
one of the teachers there.
English teachers.
English teachers. She's an amazing human, seriously. And my mother told him, and I clearly remember this, that my mother, she doesn't know English. She speaks in Hindi. So she told brother Paul, that मेरे सिर्फ एक सपना है कि मैं जिसमें कुछ ना करूं तो बस अपने एक लड़के को पढ़ा दूं अच्छे से सेंट मेरीज में.
I see.
So most of the kids who are watching this, their parents do think this.
Yeah.
उनके पेरेंट्स का जस्ट ड्रीम ये था कि उनका बच्चा बहुत अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़े. एंड जो स्ट्रक्चर द स्ट्रक्चर दैट द क्रिश्चियन स्कूल्स प्रोवाइड is unparalleled. Believe me. Until 10th I was in St. Mary's. After 10th I went to MPS. It was one of the sickest school that I have ever been to, because the crowd there was so bad. So
MPS is Meerut?
Public school.
Okay.
I'm defaming the school, I know, but that is a fact. Those 2 years, class 11th and class 12th, were the most
Why did you leave St. Mary's? Couldn't you do your plus 2 also here?
No,
the subject.
I wanted to pursue NEET, the competition exam.
Oh,
The
I see.
NEET.
Okay.
So I wanted to switch to CBSE.
Oh, you wanted to do the other board, CBSE board.
Yep. Because the NEET is based on CBSE syllabus,
Oh,
not ICSE syllabus,
Okay.
not ISC syllabus.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
Yeah.
Actually, these days, what would you recommend? Like these days, because every parent want their kids to become a doctor or an engineer. Majority parents.
Yeah, that's true.
That is
Middle class families.
middle class family want their kids to be doctors and engineers. The thing happens is they feed that dream to the kids so much so that he just didn't think anything else. He can't even possibly imagine that he won't be a doctor or she won't be an engineer.
They don't know what else.
So they wanted to prepare for NEET, and they wanted to prepare for IIT, JEEs and advanced. And the thing happens in Kota. I went to Kota after my 12th. I personally saw